But Rem is always in the lab working on these segments, and he has a couple of trades for us. Hopefully, none of them involving LeBron. I'm looking at you, ESPN. I don't know.
Hmm.
It is interesting. The thought idea that ESPN is a media company, and having LeBron move would be huge for business. I don't know, but hopefully not involving LeBron. Rem, what should some couple of teams do right before the deadline this upcoming Thursday? Am I right? Thursday?
Yeah, I guess next Thursday. Is that the right way to say it? What
Yep.
is here? Let's see what next Thursday is. That would be the best way to say it. The 8th. The
The
trade
eighth.
deadline is February 8th, sometime in the afternoon, depending on which part of the country you're in. We've kind of talked about it too, as well. The trade deadline thing is going to be interesting to see this year with the new CBA in place, what these teams were able to do. I would say, like, the thing is, I can't say like there's gonna be that there's nothing is gonna happen, because stuff already has happened. Like Pascal Siakam got traded, OG Anunoby got traded. So there
Yeah.
have been there have been big moves that have been made. James Harden got traded in season as well too. So again, there have
And
been
there
big
was another
moves.
trade too. What was the trade that just happened?
Was it a big trade?
Oladipo.
Oh, for
Oh,
Steven
Adams.
Adams?
Adams.
No.
Yeah, Adams went to
Yeah.
the Heat, right?
For Oladipo, or for the Rockets. He went to the Rockets.
He went to the Rockets. Yeah, they needed some, but not super huge, but
But when Bleacher Report posted the graphic of the trade, and Oladipo is on the Rockets like when he is traded, but on the
yeah.
graphic he's in a Heat jersey. So I guess he just never checked in for the Rockets. So I guess that's a salary cap move. Steven Adams
Yeah.
salary dump.
I mean, Depot. Yeah, yeah. He's barely played. Like, I don't
Tough.
know. Maybe are the Grizzlies tanking or not? Yeah, I
Hmm.
don't know.
Will that come up later in
Mm.
the fake trades? So the first trade is LeBron to the Knicks for picks.
Mm.
Who
Wait,
says
who's
no?
LeBron for picks?
LeBron to the Knicks. Who says no?
Oh my gosh. All right, moving on.
next one. But again, back to the trade deadline. I don't want to say it's going to be like that. Nothing's going to happen, because yeah, who knows? Maybe a
Yeah,
bunch of little moves happen, but the trade machine is tough right now. And
yeah.
do you what would you say are like the lead rumor guys? Who who do you think?
Hmm.
I guess DeJounte Murray, right? It's like the obvious number. He seems to be the number
Yeah,
one.
yeah. He's really hot right now.
Is Mitchell a media rumor guy, or is that like an actual, is that just like a media wish list guy, or is that like actual insiders are saying he's on the move?
Yeah,
I don't.
I think yeah, I think there's still he is thinking about leaving. I do think that's a legit thing I've heard out of the Cavs
How
that
much
they
longer is
are
he under
considering.
contract?
But
IT.
we'll see. I don't know. Cavs have with Mitchell. He's been playing really well. I don't know. I heard broadcaster, was calling him the best player in the league. I don't know if we go that far,
Whoa.
but
Wait, but
they've
he
been
can't
hot
be the
right
best
now.
player in the wait. So he's the best player in the league, but Scotty Barnes is actually the face of the league.
Yeah, yeah.
Did I
That's
get
two
that
different
right?
roles. Two different
Okay.
roles. Yep. Um, Let me see here. Yeah, I definitely. It'll be interesting to see. I'm just. It's crazy that these rumors are happening. Oh, about LeBron. I mean, I'm surprised. You know, I think it is. I thought there would be definitely D'Angelo Russell would be the one traded, and on X, King James puts the time clock sign, and it's like I don't know. It was interesting. There was even a clip online of like them asking about his teammates, and he's like, "Oh, I just want them to do their job," and then someone cut him off. And someone said it was a reporter, but I'm pretty sure, and one of my sources are telling me it was the team morale support like coordinator or something like that.
Wait, say that
They get
title
paid.
again.
It's like the morale coordinator or something like team morale coordinator. And I guess apparently they get paid 120,000 just to make sure the team doesn't mess up. And LeBron says himself he was
Hmm.
about to say something. Um,
In Cali,
but
though, 120 in LA. That's not like making bank.
But
Wait, was
they're
there
definitely.
the
Is it?
morale coordinator? Okay,
I
so
think so.
I've got the front office pulled up on Real GM. Brian
I'm trying
Felix
to
is the
find.
team chef.
Shout out.
Oh, Big
Um,
Dom security officer? No, no Big
Big
Dom.
Dom. But I do think it is interesting that the media is definitely trying to get something out of LeBron. They want a soundbite of him just going off on his teammates, and he's not doing it. But we know behind the doors he's looking to trade someone. So we'll see.
Wait, Brenda Bush, director of mental health and wellness? Could
I
that
don't
be
think
it?
so. It might have been fake news too. The sources could be wrong.
Whoa, full stack developer. Pause that. That's crazy.
I shout out Bleacher Report for revamping their page. I didn't see this before.
Oh, IG? The app?
Yeah. No, Bleacher Report.
On IG?
Their website.
Lawrence Tanter, public address announcer. Baker girl. Wait, so
All
who
right,
else
so
was
what?
so who else wait quickly. Who else would you say are top names on the market?
Um, I think D'Angelo Russell should be up there. Um, I know the
So
Warriors
you're saying
apparently
guys that
don't
are
want to
available,
trade
not,
Clay or
not the
Draymond.
guys that teams want.
Yeah, no, I mean I think like the Warriors have said they're not trading Clay or Dre. I don't know why. Like
Hmm.
it's kind of hurting my head that they're not. Let me see. I think yeah, Donovan Mitchell, like you mentioned, is already there. Um, yeah, because the Knicks are still trying to get him. Um, I think they mentioned they try
Is there
to.
reports
Yeah, I guess they try to get Fournier, Grimes, and
and
draft picks
picks?
for him. Yeah.
Hmm. Is that enough for Mitchell for you? Grimes and picks?
Um, if he's gonna leave anyway, if he's gonna walk on you, and you kind of have to take whatever you can get.
So his contract right
Uh,
now, by the way, too, he's under contract this year, obviously, next year for 30, this year for 32, next year for 34, and then
yeah,
he's got a player option for 37. So he probably opts out of that and takes the Jaylen Brown money.
yeah. I'm trying to think. I
The
mean, he
thing,
definitely wants a Jalen Brown.
I guess, but if you're the Cavs, would you just trade him next year?
I mean, yeah, but I know I mean, they got to be still fielding offers. You know, not going to listen to people talking. Knicks were really close to signing Joel. I think before he went to the Cavs, they're definitely. We'll see if they can continue to chase after him. But
Wait,
yeah,
sign
I
who?
mean, it is interesting to see Mitchell.
Okay.
They did want to get him, trade for him. But it is interesting to see how many guards are out there to be traded when you talk about, I guess Mitchell might be more forward, but somewhere there, DeJounte Murray, like I mentioned, D'Angelo Russell. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's just saying people aren't available. I don't know. It's very much up in the air in terms of legitimate people can get traded. But right now, it seems like the main one is DeJounte Murray. Other teams, there's players they could get rid of. When you look at, let's see, when you look at Highland and PJ Tucker, players they could get rid of. Players, Spencer Dinwiddie as well. There's players out there, but yeah, I don't know. Beyond Murray, I don't know if there's any that team is actually interested in.
Yeah, you seem to be right. At least right now, publicly, the trade market seems to be pretty limited. And I did actually want to ask you about the Lakers too, quickly. So this is a good
Yeah.
segue. But with D'Angelo Russell, like this is no shots at D'Angelo Russell, but like because again, like I've said it
That's
before,
hard.
I like D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell is one of my like secret like favorite players. I've always liked his game secretly, but and yeah, I guess not secretly anymore. But if like he works best with LeBron, right? Like he's just the
hmm
thing is he's just not going to do the same. He's not going to have the same impact on another team. So I don't like, if he is name wise the top guy on the trade market, again, I don't know of another team that's bringing him in saying he's the piece that we need, because I think the Lakers are that team for him. I think the Lakers are the team that need his shooting ability and the offensive boost that he can give at times. And to be honest, like, up until, did you watch any of the game last night with Austin Reeves going off? Because
no, I didn't catch that.
Look up the box score real quick for Austin Reeves. I forget exactly what he had, but I think he was at, like 20 in the first half. The shooting numbers were efficient as well. But the thing that Russell has been giving him lately, and they haven't necessarily been winning a ton. So, who knows how much the impact of this stuff matters. But like, the shooting that Reeves had provided him, Russell was giving him, because Reeves' shooting had been up and down this year. And I did have some Reeves fake trades in here. I'm not going to lie. I had a couple of Austin Reeves fake trades I was going to throw at you. And then he went off last night and I deleted them all. And, and I was like, okay, the skill set that he brings to this team is actually too valuable. They probably can't get rid of him. And there's some contract stuff in there as well, too, that is beneficial for the stars that they have. But his shooting actually has been valuable for that team. And I don't know if there's another team where it provides that equal value for him.
Was it against, we're talking about the Celtics?
Yeah.
He hit 7 3-pointers. They beat the Celtics without LeBron or AD.
Or AD.
So that's crazy. That's kind of inexcusable by Celtics. Shout out to them for, I guess they just gave up on their home record. Having the all-time great home record. Let me see if I can pull up some numbers from it. But yeah, I mean, Austin Reeves is untradeable, and he should have been already untradeable before. But yeah, Reeves had a season high 32 points, career high 7 3-pointers. And there are times where you can like watch Reeves and be like, oh, is this guy, there's times there are flashes of just him being mediocre, kind of chilling, but reasons why he wasn't a super high draft pick. But when he has the ball, when he's in the rhythm and he's getting his shots up and gets like we can see when he gets the usage rate, he's definitely a really good guard, really great guard that the Lakers need. They need this kind of shooting. They need a Reeves type player. And it's something that, I don't know, for some reason, LeBron doesn't think he needs shooters, but that's literally what his best teams have had. So I just, Reeves is kind of the only player I wouldn't trade besides AD on this team. AD and LeBron, obviously. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely second on that list. But yeah, shout out to the Celtics. They had their whole team there too.
Out.
I don't even know what they're doing. What the heck?
We need to make up an alternate term for a shout out. Like, obviously we're not like dissing a team, but it's like a hey, obviously you guys didn't show up tonight. We need like a one word term for like I guess is it just a call out?
Yeah, call out.
Instead of a shout out. Call out the Celtics.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a call out. I don't know if this is a call out or a shout out, but Devin Vassell just missed a game winning 3 against the Pelicans. They lose 114-113. I don't know. Sideline out of bounds. You only need 1 point. Is that like a lob to Wemby around the rim and see what happens? Who knows? But it was a good look. I'm not gonna lie. It was a good look from Vassell. And in a big moment, I trust that guy to hit it, to knock it down like a playoff game. I trust him. But no call out for Vassell, but
how much were they down, or was it tie? Were they down by 1?
1 point game.
I don't understand going for 3 when you're down by 1. Like, just take the layup, get the contact, or get a foul. A lot of those times you go for contact, especially if you're a star. Maybe the Spurs aren't there yet in terms of having a star, but at least get a chance to have the contact and go for the layup, which is just a straight up easier shot. And I know, it's one of the laziest basketball things to say, just go to the rack, go to the hoop. But I mean, draw up a play to get open around the rim, like you mentioned before, Wemby or something. I don't understand going for 3.
Is
On that.
Vassell an all-star snub?
Oh my gosh. No, I don't think he should be an all-star, but
Is
Wemby,
Vassell?
I'd
Would you
support
vote for
more in case
Vassell
for
over Bradley
Wemby.
Beal?
I'd vote for Wemby.
Hmm.
Wait,
Would
was
you?
Bradley Beal an all-star?
No, I just throwing out a guy.
Oh, okay. I didn't. I was like, I don't think I saw that.
He's been an
Um,
all-star,
yeah, no, he has been. Shout out
former
to
all-star.
Maxi though, making it as a all-star reserve.
Okay, let me throw the first trade at you.
All right,
Let me
check
get
it
into
out.
it because, like we said, the trade deadline is next Thursday. So by the next time we record, will be past trade deadline. This is the last time we can talk fake trades and they can actually happen. So I'm just unloading all of the fake trades. Pause that I've got here.
Okay, I was about to say no pause.
Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And like we said, since the rumor mill is quiet right now, these aren't like necessarily like trendy trades. These are just trades. These are just on the trade machine, seeing what's out there, just throwing it at the wall. We'll run it by our guy Sam and see what he says. This first trade, I'm just throwing this is like an old trade. This just I think I made this trade in like December. So it hasn't really aged.
Old but gold.
Yeah. It hasn't really aged to the point where I think it would say yes, but it's interesting. I wanted to still throw it at you. Who says no? Just to warm the people up and let the people know where we're at for the notebook. Fake trade number 1. Timberwolves Suns. Who says no? Kevin Durant for Karl Anthony Towns and Kyle Anderson. Who says no?
I think I think
Is that a good start?
The Suns obviously say no. I think it is interesting. I think you could definitely make someone think about that, especially if you throw in a pick or two, even a second rounder
for the Wolves.
Yeah, for the Wolves,
like to get Durant.
Yeah, maybe in a year or two, if Durant starts taking a step back. But yeah, I'm shocked.
The thing is, Phoenix is playing a little bit better lately. The offense is starting to come together. Bradley Beal's getting out there a little bit more consistently. So, and again, the Timberwolves still remain number 1 in the East. The thing like with this trade is you go, well, you lose Towns. Like Naz Reid is good, and they did like they gave him the bag for a bench guy this year, but it's not like he's like overpaid.
Yeah,
but he is worth every penny, and. Like, I'm just like, is that reasonable? Just player to player, like a Towns for Durant, like thing. Like, could the Timberwolves see themselves getting better by doing that trade? Bringing in Durant, or is Towns still valuable to that team? Is what I'm asking, basically.
Yeah, I do think it is valuable for the Timberwolves. If you're bringing in Kevin Durant instead of, a proven winner, still shooting pretty much big. I mean, KD's pretty much almost 7 feet, and to bring him into that role, you're just gonna have to keep him happy. And he's shown that he doesn't want to be happy, and he's shown that he tends to be a little temperamental. And I think especially for a smaller market like that, you're just shooting yourself in the foot trying to trade for Katie. But I do think it is a very interesting trade, and I do like it kind of for both teams. Getting a little younger with Phoenix receiving him, and then Timberwolves may be able to speed up that timeline since they are playing so well this year. So I see where it's coming from, but yeah, there's just too many issues with KD.
And Booker Towns reuniting the Kentucky days, get the teammates back together. Again, I think where these teams are at, I think the teams would want to see the Suns are playing too well. The Timberwolves are playing too well for I think them to make a move. But I think Naz Reid is good, and
he's definitely good.
In December, the idea of saying, "Hey, what could we turn Karl Anthony Towns to?" seemed a little bit more interesting. Wait, are all the games done? There's no more background games? Oh no, Nuggets Blazers. Okay.
Yeah, I'm watching that right now. They were tied, but Now the Nuggets are starting to take it over in the third quarter. Kind of like third quarter Warriors. They're
Wait,
also on Ball Arena. Shout out. Been there.
it's saying so League Pass, if you guys have League Pass, you know this, but it doesn't let you watch the in-market games. So like the regional teams
Yeah.
you can't watch on League Pass because you need to watch it on the regional sports networks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's saying I'm in the
Just
region
enough.
for it's saying I'm in the region for Blazers Nuggets. I'm in Iowa.
Close enough.
I have a rant about that, but I'll save it for another day. Okay, next fake
Off season, right?
next fake trade. Well, here, let me just ask, have you watched the Knicks at all since the Anunoby trade? We didn't really talk about the Anunoby trade either because we talked about it on a Tuesday pod.
I've
But
been hearing very, very good things from the Knicks. Just
I know
how hard
Anunoby is
they're
one of your
playing.
guys.
Tibbs, yeah, I've just been hearing, Tibbs. I think I watched a little bit. Their defense has been stellar. Tibbs is just happy. Just getting these guys playing really, really hard. Josh Hart also there is a great, tough dude. And
I
yeah,
know
I
he's
think
filling in for Randall.
and it's definitely, the team that Tibbs wants. Randall probably is probably the one loose screw in terms of hustle and, just getting shots. But everyone else, it's kind of like no ego. They're all there to work, and it's very hard and very they're very hustle group and effort group, and yeah, I'm really excited to see how they do in the playoffs in the first round if they keep this up. I mean, we saw last year the Bucks got knocked down in the first round, so it is possible, and you just need Brunson to get hot for a little bit.
And if you're just looking at the standings right now, too, in the East, they're up to number 3 right now. They're going into so again, we're recording this Friday night. Going into tonight, they're at 32 wins. 32 wins is actually tied with the Bucks for number 2. The Bucks are 32 and 16. The Knicks are 32 and 17. And I think the Bucks might hold a tiebreaker in there as well too. I think the Bucks might have a win over the Knicks that matter. But if you're just looking big picture now at teams that can actually like win the East, I do actually think that a couple of these teams have a like big concerns. So Boston obviously number 1, I think they can obviously win the East, but Milwaukee at number 2, like they can win the East, but the Doc Rivers thing taking over mid-season, I don't know if you have thoughts about that as well too, but that seems just like a real red flag if we're talking about can a team make a run and actually, win the East, get into the finals. In the Sixers, the Embiid thing, now that he's hurt, it's like, okay, well, now you see why he missed in Denver. But if, like the injury thing, but again, I guess maybe it's not winning the East, but if the finals are in Denver, like he hasn't played in Denver in 5 years, there's altitude there, that becomes an issue. So I do actually think now that big picture, they're in the conversation. I do think they have the ability to win the like, I don't know if they'll actually be able to pull the run together. Like Stephen A said on First Take today that he doesn't believe that the team will actually do it. He said that his expectation is get to the conference championship and he'll be ecstatic. But I mean, with the way Brunson's playing right now, like Brunson's just a legit number 1. And I know people are going to go, oh, well, maybe he should have, like, he obviously should have been an all-star starter. He should have. He got my vote as well. But sometimes being a snub is a good thing. And I do think he kind of took that personally because since then, I mean, he's been outstanding. And the Anunoby trade is part of that. But I mean, he's playing as a legit number 1. The Anunoby thing gives them defense. I know Randall's out right now, but in the depth is a concern. But in terms of a playoff rotation, they have 6 or 7 guys. I think they're right in the mix. I think if Brunson keeps playing like this, they're right in the mix.
Yeah, no, Brunson has been someone that we've continued to watch as he grows. And, it's tough because there's just so many good guards in the NBA that, he kind of gets, thrown underneath, he kind of gets hidden. Even if he is in New York City, you still look at the big time stars, you still got Curry up there, you got
the thing.
SGA, Doncic.
Here's the
But
thing with
it's just tough for him to break through.
here's the thing with Brent. Sorry to interrupt, but here's the thing with Brunson that people need. I think with the guard conversation with Brunson is just different than other guards. And I know, like, not to call out a guy like Maxey, but you get like the Maxey, Simon, like the way Brunson can control a game, the pace that he plays at, the playmaking, the way he can get other guys involved, the way he can elevate other guys' games, his overall mastery in the pick and roll is just, it's different than other guards in the league. And I think when we're talking about the guard position, I do think that, guys like Brunson, I think Halliburton might be in that category as well too. Like with Brunson, like the team is constructed now. If with Brunson as a lead guy, I think they could beat the Bucks in a playoff series. Like he has the ability scoring wise, and again, the pace and control. He could go toe to toe with Giannis, and it's not the same thing as Jokic going toe to toe or Embiid, where it's one on one. They're actually going at each other, whatever. Pause, but I do think he has the ability to lead a team against these other top teams. And again, with the it's not just like, hey, he can beat Giannis, but it's the Bucks right now with Doc Rivers, with Dame Lillard in the defense. They don't have a guy they can really throw at Brunson to stop him. Like same with the Sixers. Really, like the other night, were they playing the Celtics the other night? And he just no. I think Reeves was the one that cooked Drew Holiday. They played played somebody else, but maybe it was the Magic. He was just like another good defensive guard, and he was just like cooking them. Nobody can. The Heat the other night, he dropped like 40 plus against. Like he just can't be stopped. I think that the Anunoby trade really made a difference, and I think I was like, okay, this obviously makes them a better team, but I think this makes them now they can go toe to toe with these top teams. I think they're capable of beating these top teams in a playoff series. Can they actually do it? Is the next, that's the next question, and maybe that's what this playoff run is to accomplish. But I do think this team is talented enough, and Brunson is playing well enough they can do it.
In the last 10 games, Brunson has been last 10 games he played. Brunson's been averaging 32, 6.5 assists, so pretty much 4 rebounds, shooting 51% from the field, 39 from 3, and 84 from the free throw line. 85 pretty much. So he's been playing bananas. He's been playing out of his mind. And you could point a little bit, to the schedule. They did just play Charlotte, Utah, and the Pacers in their last 3 games. But this is a team that is perfect for the regular season. It's a team that hustles, that is, like we already mentioned, already really tough, has one of the better defenses in the league. And I think they're consistent day in, day out. They're always ready to play. Let's see here. I think they are on a winning streak here, actually. Where is it at?
They beat Denver by 38, 9 games. 9-game win streak.
Yeah, and no, Denver was not ready to play that game. They were out of it. I think might have been over almost by halftime. That was definitely a punch.
Brunson took 10 shots.
But yeah, nine winning game streak, and for me, I have to see it before I believe it. I don't know if I'd go that far, because in the playoffs have just not been kind to small guards. It's just a playoff rule, and it's one that there are exceptions when you look at Curry, when you look at some of the success that other, I guess maybe Mitchell, he did get knocked out a lot earlier on, second round, really didn't make it far. But when you look at most of the teams that are in the finals, they have that big guy in terms of, Giannis, Jokic, even, LeBron, AD, even with the Celtics, they have that size with Jalen Brunson, Tatum. And, you can always fire back with, a couple examples here and there. But yeah, I think I'd have to see it to believe it. I mean, I think Brunson is legit. In terms of being a real basketball talent. I think he does have potential to be a number 1. He just needs a really good number 2 and in 3. And he needs Randall to have the production that he has during the regular season in the playoffs, and to play at his high level. I mean, it's just tough. So I think in terms of maybe talent wise, I think Brunson, you could make an argument he is up there with some of these top guys. I don't know if I'd go like top guys, but I think, 4 or 5, you look at guys like AD, you look at guys like, Brown. I think you look at, some second options out here. I think he's right there. But I think him being small and with teams allowed to be more physical in the playoffs, it's going to hurt him, especially with him not being a superstar. He's just not going to get the same calls as a Giannis, as a Tatum, as even a Donovan Mitchell. And
Mm.
and with the margins that the games are at, it turns a 9-point win into a 5-point win, or 5-point into a 3-point loss. So I think it's just when the margins get a lot thinner and players are allowed to be a lot more physical, that's when those small guards really get exposed or really get pushed around and stuff. And Brunson did all he could. I mean, we watched last year and he was playing. He did all he could, and his teams didn't pick him up. So we'll see if it's this year again. But yeah, I don't know if I'd put him on that level. But he is playing out of his mind right now, and that's why they're third in the East. Outside, tied with the Bucks for wins.
And the Randall point is a great point too. But is the Brunson thing, like you're saying? I mean, what you're saying is it feels a little Steve Nashy, I think, and I think that makes a lot of sense. I guess my point with Brunson is the team is constructed in a way where if he's playing good enough, they can't. The team as a whole can beat these teams. But part of that, like you're saying, is Randall has been good during this stretch as well too, and the playoff numbers for Randall, especially last year, like he can't do that. If they're going to make a run,
can't.
They need Randall. They have the guys to be able to get away with it in the regular season, but they're going to need him if they make a playoff run. They're number one in the league in net rating since making the OG Anunoby trade. Best team in the league. 15 games, 13-2, best record in the league as well. So Brunson, obviously the lead guy in that. Third in the league in fourth quarter scoring, fourth quarter points per game over that stretch. Mitchell actually number 1. Giannis 2. Mitchell obviously playing well, but Brunson, I think clearly on All NBA at this point, if Rudy Gobert goes around and touches the mics in the league, the league just ends, shuts down. I think Brunson is on All NBA. I do have a couple of Knicks trades I want to ask you about, but I'm going to save them because, well, you'll see why I'm going to save them. But let me throw this other trade at you real quickly. Again, this is just trade machine. It's just sitting around thinking of trades,
popping out trades.
You did mention the Grizzlies earlier. Did you say that on air? Did you say that off air? The Grizzlies?
I said it just now. Yeah, they're tanking.
So the Thunder need another piece. What if
Bane?
I did think about Bane. The problem with Bane right now is he's on a poison pill contract. So he's on his rookie. He's on the last year of his rookie deal. So if the team that trades him, the number that they're sending out is his rookie number. So you're trading him, you're sending away $3 million, but the team receiving him is receiving him at the extension number or a little bit less. So the team receiving him is receiving him at like $30 million. So, they basically have to be able to have the cap space to, get close to signing a guy at that level. And especially at this point, it becomes difficult in season 2 trade a poison pill type guy. So I did really try to think of a couple of Desmond Bane trades and just couldn't get it done. But the other core guy there, Triple J. What if so this is the Thunder giving up, maybe you can modify this trade as well too, but I got Cason Wallace, Lou Dort, and Bertans and picks. The Thunder get back Triple J and Luke Kennard.
Oh, okay.
So
because I was like, just Triple J, that's a lot.
Cason Wallace, Bertans, the Bertans contract, Lou Dort, and then I have down 3 first-round picks. But again, you can modify however you like. And then for Jaren Jackson and Luke Kennard.
They don't need a star. Are we good? Can you hear me?
They
don't need a star. I don't think they need a top guy like that. I don't know if they even need to give that much. The OKC. And so, Triple J, he's going to want his shots. He's going to want his stuff. I think they just need a big body, but I do think the Grizzlies are a great team to look at to trade with. When you look at, and again, I don't know if these guys are injured. They may not be. But when you look at it like a Xavier Tillman, when you
Hmm.
look at who else do they have here? Brandon Clark. I think Brandon Clark's been out all year.
Yeah,
So he won't be coming back. But yeah, I mean, players like that
or for a
though,
lot of
just
it.
a big body, honestly, who can take the blows for Chet, I think is a great idea. And I don't know if you need to go all the way to the edge. I mean, Jaren Jackson Jr. is kind of their best player. I mean, I think
Right
Desmond Bain
now,
is also out.
yeah.
Yeah, they have so many players out that he's kind of their guy. So I think right now they're definitely in a let's take a breath. We can come back next year and see what happens. I think an interesting I think an interesting trade could be maybe you could see if you can pry Walker Kessler from the Jazz. I don't know if he's
Oh,
untradeable.
would they do that?
I don't know if he's untradeable. You do Walker Kessler
How
and
much does
maybe,
Danny Ainge like Giddy?
you know, how much does Presti like Giddy? I think Giddy could definitely be a player they phase out. But yeah, I think Walker Kessler would be a better,
Especially if Case and Wallace is not in the trade, and then you're just thinking, well, Case and Wallace is kind of taking the Giddy minutes.
exactly. And like Giddy's game is kind of limited. I mean, you'll like Giddy, but like,
And here's the thing,
it's
I will
not.
say in Giddy's defense, I know, we we're just finally talking about Josh Giddey again, but he is nice to have. I was watching a
Yeah.
game the other night, and you're like, okay, the Thunder have enough guys where he's like, if Giddy is like your seventh best player, he is nice to have. But
Hmm.
I just think they could use a different skill set in those minutes potentially, and just if they're going to make a
Yeah.
move, or again, they have the guys to fill those minutes if they were to make a move. Or again, Giddy's a good player to have. It's why he's a attractive trade asset. What about
Yeah. I
Gafford?
mean, Daniel Gafford, I think that's a great idea. I
Our
think
boy
Gafford's
Gafford.
it's exactly someone who you need. That kind of defensive,
That
just
was my
someone.
practical one.
They need it. They just need, not even like a goon like they used to call him, but just a big body to deal with. And I don't, not even someone who definitely not someone who needs to score, who needs the offensive part because they got plenty of scoring. They're fine with that. But they need someone on the defensive end just to get some touches. Let me see. I think the Magic had someone on their roster. I don't have their full roster pulled up in front of me. Moritz
Bitsida?
Wagner. Wagner, I don't know.
Is it the
Bitsida,
the big guy?
Bogut.
The
Maybe
plus minus
the
for Bitsida is off the charts. It was
the
earlier in the
other
season or later. Anyways,
the other Wagner brother. Yeah,
Mo, they can't
Moritz
trade Mo.
Mo. Yeah, you gotta get
Package
Mo.
deal.
Gotta get Mo. There has to be someone out there. Someone out there.
I had Gafford down
Um,
as like the practical version of a guy they could go
yeah,
get. And there was a game against the Spurs played the Wizards the other night, and Gafford just destroyed Wemby. Like he the thing with Jackson is not like he is obviously good at defensive player of the year, but he's not like a
yeah.
physically dominant defender. I wouldn't say he's like an imposing rim protection type guy. Having him and
Hmm.
Chet there would be interesting, but I think weirdly, like a guy like Gafford, who is just like you're saying, just a little more brutal than a guy like Jaren Jackson, could be, I want to say, a better fit next to Chet, but like it's a more reasonable guy they could go get. So it could
I
make
don't know.
a lot more sense. But Case and
Could
Wallace
they
as a defensive guy next to Ja. Anyways, go
could
ahead.
they buy out Danilo Gallinari? I don't know.
I think
Gallinari.
pretty easily.
Yeah,
Who's he even on? What
he's on
team's
the
he on?
Pistons. The Pistons. I think that's a player they could use. Go five out. They just need a backup big.
So,
I mean, I was talking about maybe Duran, but he might be a little. But Isaiah
hmm,
Stewart, he's hurt right now. I think it
Wiseman?
could be. Yeah, Wiseman. I think he'd be interesting. I just need a backup big. I don't. Wiseman has been near unplayable at times, but
I
they
hate to
just need
say
a
it
backup.
because he's on the Spurs, but Charles Bassey, I love
Yeah,
Bassey, but it's almost like free Bassey at this point. We need to play that guy.
honestly, Wemby's just taking too many center minutes. Like what the heck?
Play him next to Wemby. I don't know why he can't get the minutes. Maybe there's something in practice I'm not seeing,
No.
but
But it shouldn't be this hard to find some big that no one's using, like a second rounder. Like
hmm.
there's just so many bigs in the league for obvious reasons that are
the
just in the league because they're big.
the problem is the bigs dominate the league. Jokic, Embiid, Giannis. You need that
Yeah,
guy. So those
I
guys
get
are
yeah.
weirdly valuable right now. Like a guy like Gafford is, again, he's valuable if you're building a team. But we both agreed the Grizzlies are not, they're not on tank watch, but they're just like, we
It
both
should
agree we
be.
would be making calls to the Grizzlies if we were a team, right? If we were
Yeah,
running a team, we're making calls to the Grizzlies right now, asking about Jaren Jackson.
not maybe Jaren Jackson, but some of their other players. I think they would be
Okay.
interested in moving on for players just because, like you mentioned, they are a tank. So they are looking to this year's draft. And if you have a good, solid draft pick for this year, maybe you could see if that entices them. But it's a bad year to tank. Should have waited last year and we should have waited for next year with Cooper Flag. Ooh. Shout out to the Athletic, had a great article about him on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Might have
Yeah,
to.
explains why his favorite player is Larry Bird, because there better be a good explanation for that.
Do we need an Athletic article to explain that? Do we just need a side by side?
I don't know. His play too. I was watching some of his under 17 highlights. He might be the next one. Next one
And
up.
this year's draft might be just good too. There's a lot of good players in there. Whitmore, there's been some Whitmore moments this year. There was a game where they were playing the Celtics in Boston, and Whitmore had a quarter where he was like, "I'm just going to go toe to toe with Tatum," and it
had like
it
four
worked for
dunks
like
in a row.
Yeah, it worked for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, something.
And then it was like, oh, Whitmore, he can't take this one. Oh, yep, there it goes. It's all gone now.
Yeah, but yeah, shout out. All right, you got any more trades?
Okay, next fake trade. Which one do I want to?
Just check them.
Okay, here. This is a quick one. The Bucks. I don't know if you want to talk about Doc Rivers quickly, but
shout out.
I had Chris Middleton to the Kings. I had Kevin Huerter, Trey Lyles, and Davion Mitchell for Chris Middleton.
Wait, who all did you? Where you trade for Chris Middleton?
Kevin Huerter, Trey Lyles, Davion Mitchell.
I think the Bucks say yes right away. I don't think is Kevin Huerter a better player than Chris Middleton? I don't know. That's a lot for Chris Middleton. Like 3 players.
It's contract mostly, but
yeah.
Huerter and Barnes.
But Huerter is a solid player. Like I think he's a rotation playoff contributor. Like I think he has his cold moments, but I think Chris Middleton has started to play better this year though.
Can Huerter contribute in the playoffs in the fourth quarter? Is the question. Let's see what Chris Middleton has done. Let's see what Chris Middleton has done recently.
He's been a little better.
Last 8 games, 17 points a game, 51% from the field, 39% from 3.
Well, what's Kevin Huerter been doing? I'm just saying it shouldn't be so close that it's an actual thing that like it's not out of the realm of possibility that he might be producing more. I mean, he is at like only 10, 3 and 8, but
you have Doc Rivers
Kevin Huerter. Whoa, he went down. He had 15 last year, now 10. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, there's all the jokes with 3-1, all the little leads he's blown, but I think around the league, it's been generally agreed that the Bucks needed an adult. They needed someone to right the ship. The move. And yeah, I get why. I think they just were missing a lot of the bare minimum stuff. And getting rid of Terry Stotts so early in the season was a big thing that or not getting rid of. Pretty much he resigned, but it's pretty much them getting rid of him. Was a big sign of trouble. Also, shout out to my Blazers. They've been playing well recently. I haven't been much of a hype on them. They're starting to come back. I don't know. Might slim this lead
They're
down
hanging
to
in
4
there
against the Nuggets on the road. Okay, actually 5. That's still tough. 5. It's the champions. They're not. I know. But anyway, I did not realize that Huerter was playing this bad this year. Because last year he was at 15, a game, shooting, 48% from the field, 40% from 3. But this year he's shooting really bad. He's back down to 36 from three, only 10 points. So I guess it's more realistic that this trade would happen. Yeah, I did not know he took this big of a step back.
Okay, the next trade quickly is Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez, and Nikola Jovic enough for Donovan Mitchell?
Jaime Jaquez is untradeable. He's literally like another Jimmy
That's what I
Butler.
was trying to ask.
You can't
Is
trade
Jaquez
Jaime
for
Jaquez.
Mitchell straight up enough? Would you do that if you're the Heat?
You just can't touch him. Just don't. Tyler Hero and who else did you mention? Maybe Robinson.
Jovic. So Robinson for the money. Robinson for the money.
Yeah,
Let's double check in the
Robinson,
trade machine quick.
Hero, and Jovic. I think that could be a good trade right there. Jaime Jaquez is untradeable. Like for him to be injured and it's actually noticeable on the Heat.
The problem is the Heat don't have any picks, so it's like Jaquez or nothing.
Yeah.
In terms of getting like future assets from the Heat back. I'd assume you want something long term there.
I mean, they got Scary Terry, so I think they got their upgrade at guard already. And I mean, Terry Rozier on this kind of team, I'm like you mentioned. I mean, he loves the culture, he loves how it is. And I think he'll fit perfectly in there. And I think people kind of forget Scary Terry in the playoffs, before Tatum came onto the scene. There was some stuff with Terry. So thank God he's out of Charlotte. He's with a team that actually makes the playoffs. And I'm really excited to see, because this is a team of hero balls, macho guys, and he fits that perfectly. A bunch of winners, and that combined with Jaime Jaquez, how good he's been playing. I think it's just he's playing literally like Jimmy Butler. Butler's there, Bam. I mean Rozier. That's like four solid guys going into the playoffs. So I think I was kind of worried for them after they lost pretty much all their backcourt, but now they look kind of reloaded. They're very interesting.
And and Terry Rozier went for the dunk on LeBron in the final or in the Eastern Conference Finals. Make no mistake, he got stuffed. LeBron blocked him, but he did go for the dunk. Yeah. He went for the dunk. So credit to Scary Terry. Okay, we'll do so I guess here I'll do a couple of fake trades, but these are theme fake trades. There's a couple of the theme to these last ones. I know, again, we mentioned the rumor mill is quiet right now, but I think this guy is the guy that everybody would like to see get traded to a contending team. And I think it's a guy that obviously I think are we the number one Mikal Bridges pod with Ultimate Frisbee's Best segment recorded on Zoom? We're the number one.
Yep. Top of the rankings.
These are the rescue. I got a couple of rescue Mikal Bridges trades to throw at you rapid fire quickly. This one, I think this one might be my favorite trade. This is my favorite trade. We'll see if you like it, but the Nuggets get Mikal Bridges and Dorian Finney-Smith for Michael Porter Jr., Christian Braun, and Peyton Watson. Who says no?
Probably not the Nuggets, the Nets. I think the Nuggets would love to have Mikal Bridges. They'd love to have him. I mean, you put pretty much Michael Porter shooting into a guy who's actually going to play defense.
Play defense?
They'd love to have him.
Would you just sacrifice whatever picks you have left if you're the Nuggets to do that? With those guys?
I think for the Nuggets, I mean, the Nets, I think they do see him as a superstar kind of guy. They look to him as their number one guy, their cornerstone right now, and he's kind of all the hope they have. They don't have much else. Ben Simmons has started playing again, but yeah, not much else on that team. So Cam Thomas has shown some flashes too. He's continued to scoring, but I think for a team, it doesn't feel like they're quite ready to blow it up. And, they're kind of in the play-in danger territory. They're 11th right now, a couple wins behind the Hawks. So I think they're thinking they can still compete. They can still fight for stuff. And we'll see if that comes true. But it looks like from rumors, I think people are confirming. Let me see here. Yeah, yeah. It looks like they've continued to tell teams that that Mikal Bridges is not tradable available, especially with them being on the bubble of making the playoffs. So it's because they're kind of competitive. They're in the outside looking in.
So they've told the reports are that they're not taking calls for Mikal Bridges, which I mean is not necessarily surprising, but again, just shows you that the rumor mill is kind of shut down at this point. But I know Peyton Watson is not Mikal Bridges, but you get Peyton Watson and Christian Braun and Michael Porter Jr. back.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think they could get some serious. I think they could get better offers for
More
Mikal
picks.
Bridges. And yeah, that's why they're telling teams that they're not trading him. So I don't know. I think they could get a better deal than that.
Well, if you want a couple more picks, and this one again, Stephen A did the LeBron thing today on First Take, but the other guy that he said, and we floated this trade out there too in the past, but is the Fournier contract, Grimes and picks, is that enough for Bridges? I guess the question is, that's just not enough straight up.
Fournier, Grimes, and
picks.
Picks? Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, Fournier is expiring, right? So it's only really Grimes.
Yeah, for the money. Fournier for the money.
Yeah, and it's gonna be mid pick. So no, I mean, like I said, Mikal to them is a superstar, especially if they're gonna get rid of Spence or Dinwiddie. You know, you can't rely on Ben Simmons. You gotta have something to have the fans come and pay for.
Tobias Harris, Jaden Springer, and picks.
Yeah, no, it's not happening. I mean, might as well take the Michael Porter deal at that point. Also, Tobias is another expiring contract.
Yeah. There was another Knicks trade here quick that I wanted to throw at you. What if they called the Raptors back and go, wait, you got Bruce Brown now? Well, we'll do the Fournier contract for money, but we'll just give you a first round pick because the Knicks have a bunch of them, or they have a few of them, so they could give them Dallas's pick this year. The Mavericks first round pick in this year's draft for Bruce Brown. I mean, a first for Bruce Brown, that feels like fair value. In the Fournier contract, I mean, you don't really have to do much else than that.
Yeah, and I think the Knicks would be a great team for Bruce Brown. Instead of the Raptors, I think Bruce Brown should always be on a playoff contending team because he's just such a good playoff guy. I love watching him in the playoffs. So I think he'd be a great guy for the Knicks. Just something else, another weird wrench to throw at teams because they just got so many on that team.
Would the Raptors do that? Take a pick back for Bruce Brown?
I think they would. Maybe two. I think they would take 2 picks, like 2 second rounders. Yeah. I mean, maybe a first.
If it's seconds. A first and a third for Bruce Brown.
A first and a third. There's no thirds in there. Yeah, but
can we trade? Can we start trading G League stuff?
I do think. Yeah, I think a first and a second would be. Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Okay, we'll see what happens next week. I think it'll be, like we said, it might be pretty mid, but maybe something will happen.
Hopefully, but there has been a lot of good stuff as well. So,
do you have a big prediction? Trade deadline prediction?
No, I don't know. I think there's been plenty that happened already.
Let me think of. Let me see if I can think of one.
LeBron gets traded.
What would even be? I don't know. Jeremy Grant gets traded. Does somebody want to take on the $50 million a year Jeremy Grant deal? The Pacers. I don't know. It's nobody's traded for Turner now. John Collins. Does he get traded again? Oh, I forgot to ask Lou about the John Collins. There's a drink in the Downton Abbey cocktail drink book that is called the John Collins. So if you guys want to know what is in the John Collins and the history of the John Collins, I mean, just go down to the link and buy the book. Shout out to Lou.
Go down. Shout out.